Let me record this. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about prospecting listings, and I'm super excited that we have Liz on here and Marcel in the room because we had a good question. Actually, Janet, I think you were the one that asked the question this morning. So we're going to talk a little bit about farming today, but different ideas on how to go out and get listings. So the other thing that we want to talk about, so today is the last day of April, and so for May, we are going to be doing a very listing heavy training. So we're going to be doing a listing series. So the next several Mondays, we are going to be getting to hear from people who are doing their listing presentations for you. And so you get to see a few different ways that people are doing that. And actually the first one is going to be Thursday. So I said Monday, but I meant Thursday. May 2nd, we are going to have Mike Carmody, who is one of our brokers and also been in the business for 20 something years, very heavily listing heavy as far as his business is concerned. So that will be Thursday at 5:30. He's going to be doing his listing presentation for us. And then Monday the 6th, and then the rest of the month, those Mondays, we will have other people coming on and doing their listing presentation. So any questions on that or things that you want to make sure that I cover tonight when it comes to sellers and getting sellers? I know some of you on here have had sellers, which is exciting. Cody just put up his first listing and put it under contract. Jacob has had a listing also that's sold. Everybody else will be on their first listings, right?
I have a list.
Kelsey, yes, Kelsey has a listing. So her first listing. So about half of you guys have had your first listing and the other half are working on it, right? How is your listing going? Are you getting calls? It's rough. Uh-oh. I think we're a little priced a little bit high. Maybe on yours. It's super cute though.
Like so I don't know about the.
You get to learn a lot when it comes to that. Well, we need to have a price adjustment conversation if it's too high. How many showings would you say you've gotten since you put it up?
Less than 10, not sure.
And how many days has it been up?
It will be 2 weeks on today.
Okay. So you are a little priced, you're a little overpriced. And so we definitely can talk about how to adjust that. So it's kind of the rule of tens. If you have a property listed for 10 days and you do not get any showings, you are overpriced. If you get 10 showings and no offers, you're still overpriced. So the first price adjustment we recommend is about 3 to 5% coming off of that price. So if you did the calculation on that, you'll, kind of see what that price adjustment would be and whether they're comfortable with that. But that's really kind of what's happening there. So we do try really hard to price them correctly the first time, and the market speaks for itself. So it's not, we interpret the market. We're not 100% on coming up with that pricing. It really is just looking at that, giving the seller a chance. A lot of times the sellers are like, I know what you're saying. I know it's too high, but I want to try anyway. And that's kind of where you're at, Kelsey, is that they wanted to go a little bit higher. So good job. Where did you guys get your listings? Those of you that have had them. And Jake, you've had listings too. What'd you say, Cody? A friend?
A friend, yes.
Yep. So SOI. Jake in the room also said SOI. Where did the rest of you get those listings?
Also SOI for me.
SOI. Yep. Family. Yep. SOI. So everybody in here that's taken a listing has gotten it from SOI. So I definitely would say we want to spend a lot of time with your SOI. So we're going to talk through some of those ideas. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. So SOI is the first one on my screen here as well. And that is because that is where the majority of my business comes from too. So SOI stands for Sphere of Influence. So it is the people that you know and the people that know you. And we grow our sphere of influence through building a database, right? So everybody in your database you may not know, and they may come in as what we call haven't mets. And then through time, through some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, they will turn into have mets. And they will turn into people that you will begin talking to, building a relationship with, and really just turning them into that sphere of influence. So you can influence them, right?
Right.
You're good. You're good. So how else What are some other ideas you guys have as far as SOI is concerned? So building a database, marketing to it. How else have you guys gotten business from your SOI, specifically sellers?
Keeping them updated on the market and the current happenings of this crazy real estate world.
Yes, just keeping them updated. So Cody does a lot, I know, on social media, through videos. How else would you guys suggest keeping up to date, keeping them up on the market? What are some other good ways you could do that? So social media, mailers are another
Call them.
really good way. Call them. Yes.
The best way. The best way.
It is the best way. Call and talk to them. So yeah, just keeping them up to date on the market. So first of all, we need to be kept up to date on the market, right? So how many of you guys went to the Q1 market report with the region? That was last week. Any takeaways we can take from that to keep people up to date on the market? I think Ryan, you guys had some good reports or some meetings last week as well, right? Updates on the market.
Last week we had our home buyer seminar, but we're always doing stuff, updates on the market. So, I mean, inventory is a good thing to talk about. That's been a thing for, gosh, years. The rates being high, everyone thinks the market's going to crash, but you go on Utah real estate, search inventory, we're at 7,800 homes, and there's probably at least 30,000 people that are potentially fighting over those same 7,800. So, I mean, you tell me where prices are headed.
Yes. So inventory is low. That's a talking point that we can get out there to our SOI. Inventory is low. So yes, we do have rates and we're mostly hearing rates are high. So attending one of their rates are high, why buy seminars is an awesome way to keep you up to date or invite them. Events are a really good way to get out there talking to people so that you are able to get in front of your SOI. So events are another really good way. So putting that out on social media, they do those events at least once a month. Just getting them in front of the people who are talking about numbers is a really good way to keep people up to date on the market. Our Salt Lake Board of Realtors also has different slides and things like that that you guys can use to keep that market conversation going through social media or mailers. I think mailers are a really good way, calling, door knocking, events really is kind of a good way to door knock your SOI because we know these people. Anything else you guys can think of with SOI or that you've done that's worked for you? Besides calling, keeping them up on the market. What else? Events. Yes, events. And now that you said that, it reminded me, last time we did this, you guys talked about having a cause. I think that's always a really good way to get your SOI involved. So marketing that you are, a portion of your commission will go back to some charity or some cause. That's a really good way to communicate with your SOI and your database too. Something else that I like as far as keeping in touch with my SOI to stay in front of them to pick up listings is our monthly market report. Does everybody have their monthly market report going at least on themselves? You can raise a virtual hand. You can give me a thumbs up. Does everybody have the monthly neighborhood snapshot going on at least themselves? I just want to make sure you guys see what they're getting every month. That was literally the first thing that got me excited to set up that smart plan is seeing it. And I'm still on my own smart plan. And every single month when I get this month, your monthly neighborhood report, I click on it. I'm super curious what's happening in my neighborhood. And I'm a realtor and I could literally just log on and check out my neighborhood anytime I want. But every month I get the report, I look at it.
Yeah.
Ryan, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say on the lender side, we have HomeBot, as you probably know, and it's something similar, I'm sure, to what you're talking about. And we always get engagement from past clients, just interacting with their neighborhood. It talks about their value. So if you guys have stuff like that, absolutely use it because all my past clients always interact with it. So definitely get that set up.
Yeah, we have a lot of interaction with that as well. Cody gave us a thumbs up, so sounds like he's got his going. If you do not have that going, let me know. It's super easy to set it up, and I'm happy to help you with that. In Command, you're able to actually see the activity, so you can see when people are clicking on it. So that is also a motivating thing when you are sending things out, that you can see that people are engaging with it. So that's just kind of something on the system side. So other ways that you guys can pick up sellers are phone calls. We talked a little bit about that already. So phone calls that you could be making, that could be with your SOI, but more specifically what we were talking about with like the Mojo dialer. So anytime you could pick a specific area, you could pick a specific price range, and anytime a home goes up for sale, you could call around that home and say, hey, we just listed a home in your neighborhood. You know, do you know anybody that's wanting to move in? They say no, or they don't know anyone, and you basically can just move down the script. Well, great. Well, how long have you lived here? Or our inventory is low and we're looking to put up more listings, and have that conversation with them. Have they thought of selling? You could do a just sold or a just under contract and tell the story. Hey, we listed this home for $650. We sold it in 3 days. Looking for more inventory. Have you had any thoughts of selling? So there's a lot of different ways you can do the phone calls. So just listed, just sold, doing an open house is a really good reason to make those phone calls. Doing some kind of that community outreach, like you are doing a food drive, or you know, something along those lines, to get the neighbors or the community involved. So lots of different ways you can do phone calls. The Mojo dialer we do have for sell by owners, so you can, that's a phone call, as well as expired listings. We're having pretty good success with those expired listings right now. And really the for sale by owner as well. I recently just was helping an agent, and they had their home listed over a year ago, and now they're trying to do it for sale by owner. And the price is really caught up to what they were trying to sell it for. And they're also very motivated. So the home is now empty. So those are the kind of people you're looking for when you're making those phone calls. So at this point, that seller really does need, you know, to get that home listed. And so they're going to be more likely to, you know, do the pricing that you're wanting now that they've already tried to do it for sell by owner for the last year. Same with expired, same kind of concept is, you know, just helping them understand that just because it didn't sell a year ago doesn't mean it's not going to sell today. So finding motivation. Anytime you're on the phone calls, it's all about finding motivation. Any thoughts on or questions on those of you that have been making calls? I feel like a good handful of you guys have been on the dialer recently making calls. No? Okay. So the next one would be door knocking. So door knocking is a really good way to go out there and get sellers. Knocking, same reasons, just listed, just sold. And I'm going to give you a door knocking script, and we're going to watch a video. But just listed, just sold. Hey, I'm doing an open house in the area. Looking for inventory. We have buyers in the area. There's so many reasons you could go out and go door knocking with the intention of picking up a seller. And then it just becomes a matter of that following up. So this was the question that came up this morning. So Marcel, I definitely said they should be talking to you and Liz. And Johnette, I was going to send you Marcel's number and I didn't do that. I apologize. So rude. Okay, Marcel's here. He's not going to let me leave without your number. We'll connect the two of you. But they do have some really cool software and an app on their phone. So her question this morning was, what's a really good way to track your door knocking? Do you want to share a little bit about how she could do that with your?
Yes. So, yep. I just heard myself say, so I apologize. So the software, yeah, lets you create a farm around a listing or an area that you want to work. And then from there, it does keep track of who you talk to as you use the app feature of it. You can score your conversation with the person you spoke to from 1 to 5. You can mark them as a particular prospect, not interested, not home, whatever. And then it syncs automatically to the software that you set up on your computer. And from there, you can sort. Maybe you want to hit all the not homes that you went out to. Maybe you want to hit all the high scores. And it helps you as you're talking to people and you want to be engaged and want to remember what they say. It helps you keep notes from your phone, so you don't have to have a bunch of stuff as you're knocking doors. And then you can kind of revisit those notes and see where you need to go, what conversation you need to have. And so as you have those conversations, they'll be very impressed because you can remember what you talked about and maybe what the next action item is. So yeah, it's great for, again, farming your own area, farming, you know, Liz is great about doing, you know, door knocking for a cause. You know, knocking on a door for a hard sell is pretty hard, but if you're knocking on a door and you are just introducing yourself to the area and you have a, you know, like a charity you want to be working towards, it kind of helps that conversation a little bit easier. And there's some, you know, conversation you can have with them to, as far as coming back to pick up whatever food drive, clothing drive, and it helps you kind of grow your SOI. And again, it's a soft sell rather than a hard sell. And the software helps you keep track of that.
That's sweet. Half of your business is tracking your business. So that's a huge tool.
I love that little saying. Half of your business is tracking your business. Is that what you said? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is,
for real. It is.
we do say the path is in the math. And so we have to be tracking our numbers to know where we're at. So tracking is huge. I've just never heard it said like that. And I love that. So track who you're talking to, track who, you know, how many people in your SOI you're talking to.
Just make sure to quote me.
Yes. Ryan King. When you make the meme, it's from Ryan King. But yeah, all the tracking. So that's just a good reminder on tracking your SOI. How big is your database? We know if we market properly to the database, we can generate about a 10% return of business. So just a reminder, we're all trying to get to that 201 club, if not more. And that the 201 club, to generate that kind of return, is the marketing that we're talking about, the events, the calls, the door knocking, the sending out flyers, things like that. It's basically that 36 touch. So yes, door knocking is awesome. Door knocking is one of my favorite ways to go and pick up sellers. Any other thoughts or questions on door knocking? Hopefully that answered your question, Janet.
It did. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Open houses. So open houses are a really good way to pick up listings as well. So a lot of those people who are watching the open house and kind of they want to know what's going to happen with their neighbors' listings, they have thought about it. So I don't know if you guys have ever driven through or maybe put up a for sale sign yourself, and then you drive back through and then a couple more signs have come up. It never fails that, you know, they're thinking, well, if that neighbor can sell for this price, I can sell for this price, or my house is so much better. You know, the neighbors know a lot about what's going on. And so an open house kind of instigates that. The signs going up, the balloons. Cody, I would love to hear your feedback. We can share your feedback on how your open house went this last weekend, just so we can tweak some things and do some things to pick up more leads. But he generated 17 leads at his open house this weekend. 17. I don't know if you can hear the gasps in the room, the face that on Ryan, but it's so many leads. So Cody, tell us a little bit.
Feedback cards. It's those feedback cards. So instead of like when they walk in, I'm like, hey, will you put your name, email, and address down? I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna have you judge the property for us, you know. And I have these feedback cards, and on the front it has like their like name, address, and email. I had 100% success rate getting those. I had a couple people who didn't want to leave a phone number or an email, but I had one piece of their contact information, which has never happened on any previous open house before.
So the feedback sheets are working really well.
And I will send these over to
signing.
Terry also, and you guys can feel free to grab them, steal them. I don't give a shit. Just go out there and sell some houses.
That's
Love
awesome,
it.
Cody. Nice job, man.
Thank you.
Yes. And also, I think you mentioned to me today too, that you felt like you did really good on the balloons. So tell us a little bit about what you did on the balloons to bring the people in.
So on Amazon, I ordered these red 36-inch balloons, like 10 bucks. And then I went and bought a tank of helium from Walmart. And so I had like these 3 36-inch giant balloons sitting like 30 feet above the house. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then in the
definitely
marketing,
took that.
I put look for the red balloons, and people were looking for red balloons. It was pretty cool.
Yes. That is what we call a 7th level open house. If you were to go through our open house playbooks, there is a way to just do an open house, show up on Saturday, put an open house sign in the yard and sit there and hope that somebody comes in. Or there's doing what we call the 7th level, which is, really painting that place red and tying the marketing into those balloons. It's huge. And then just, really one-upping the sign-in sheet with those feedback forms. It just doesn't seem like you could have done a better open house. So
It
good
was
job.
by far my best one. It was hands down like probably my best moment in all real estate yet, honestly.
And this was on a house that had been listed for a little while. It wasn't like a brand new listing, right? Maybe
It
over
was
a
on
week.
its I want to say the 18th day or the 9th or the 19th day of it being listed.
Yeah.
So on the opening weekend, I did like a grand open house double day event. And then right after that was over, I scheduled just in case a follow-up open house. And that's where everything kind of happened at.
I love it. How many of your 17 leads do you think are seller leads versus buyer leads?
2. And I got this one who was she was talking about being like a for sale by owner kind of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Lots of people do it. And I was like, but let me give you some advice here. You need to go look at what their normal pitfalls are, because 80% of you guys end up hiring an agent in the end. I was just planting those seeds for her. You know what I mean? And at the end of the conversation, she was like, I'll likely use you. So I was like, dang, all right, cool. Just because I threw out that advice, I was like, hey, before you go about this, kind of prepare yourself because 80% fell. And she was just loving that information because I wasn't trying to like snatch in there. I was trying to give her some actual real good advice that was very viable that I'm assuming that she did, that kind of got me where I needed to be with her.
Yeah. And she could see you putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak, right? As you're sitting there with all these balloons and all these people and the marketing, like that's a really good way to pick up listings when it comes to those open houses. So even during your open house, you can always do something in there that's offering up like a free home evaluation or, asking good questions like, are you here today looking for yourself? Are you looking for someone else? And a lot of times they're like, oh no, I'm just the neighbor. Okay, well, why is the neighbor coming in to check out their neighbor's house? It's probably because they've thought about doing something. So you're asking more questions. How long have you lived here? If you were to make a move, where would you go next? So making sure that every person that comes through, just know that they could potentially be a seller. And most buyers right now in today's market have a house to sell. So buyers become sellers too. So some of those leads you have, Cody, that are kind of just looking or that you think are buyers, they actually could be sellers too, that you're just not aware of yet.
I'm hoping so. I'll sell a house and sell their house for any of them. So bring them on.
Yep. Good job. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem.
Any
And
other good?
I will send you those right after the call here. Okay. I'll send you over those feedback cards.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Any other good successes that you guys have had where you've picked up listings at an open house? I hear about them all the time. I just want to hear exactly how you guys are getting them. Anything different than what we've already talked about? Okay. Well, really just collecting their information, following up with them, getting them into your database, and then starting to market to them. That's going to be the best way we can turn those into sellers. Social media. I'm going to pick on Liz a little bit here. Hopefully you guys all got to go to her class. I know some of you did not. I was one of those. I didn't get to go. I'm so sad, but we will have her teach that again. But we talked a little bit when it came to SOI about getting the market out there and getting things that are going to entice people to sell or getting that messaging out. But Liz, do you have anything you would add to what we can do for social media to pick up sellers?
Yeah, I think a big mistake that I see often with real estate agents and even myself sometimes on social media is I post what I want to post and not necessarily think about my followers and what may be interesting to them. And so we talked about SOI and using social media for that to stay top of mind. Another really good call is just asking what your SOI wants to see and rolling it out that way. But as far as open houses go, it's good to start targeting that neighborhood, and you can even search the area that you're going to have your open house in, find posts and start liking them. That's going to start increasing some visibility on your page. People are going to be curious who that person is that's liking their profile. So that's a way to start getting people involved, and they may see that you have an open house happening. You can even message them, let them know you have an open house coming up. You saw that they lived in South Jordan. They might be interested. If you have cookies or something fun going on, let them know that. But just interact with people. Be an active participant on social media.
Awesome. Thank you. So is there a certain period of time you would recommend? Like, I hear people say social media is a waste of time. I don't want to get on there and fall down the rabbit hole and be on there for 2 hours. So I'm always like, even if it's 10, 20 minutes, but I'm just wondering how often or how long you kind of play around on that social media engaging with people.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So I always say if you're not going to be engaging on social media, people aren't going to engage with your stuff. It's how the algorithm is created. So I have a really easy rule that I use for myself. It's called the 10-10-10 rule. It's where I set a 10-minute timer. I do 10 comments on my main news feed, and then I do 10 comments on stories on social media. That could be on Instagram or Facebook. And the reason that I do that, one, it gets people to interact back with me. Two, it'll start pushing my content more because it's seeing that I'm interacting with my followers. And these comments that I'm making in 10 minutes aren't just emojis or a thumbs up or, hey, I like that. I try and give meaningful comments where it's going to entice the viewer to interact back with me.
I love that. Okay, I'm taking notes too. So you're saying you set a 10-minute timer, you go and comment on 10 people's, just basically engage with them through comments. And then what do you do with the reels? 10 reels or 10 minutes making reels?
So I'll put it in the comments. This is just
Okay.
for engagement. It's 10-minute timer, 10 comments on the main news feed, which could be stories. Those are the posts that people are making. So I
Okay.
do 10 comments on the main news feed, and then I do 10 comments on the stories, which are the ones that disappear after 24 hours.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
of course.
appreciate that. We're excited to have you teach us again.
Yeah, I would love to.
So Liz is with Real Advantage Title, and so she's really good with social media. That's why I'm picking on her. So if you don't know her, you definitely want to get to know her. So thanks, Liz.
Yeah, no problem. I'll put that rule in the chat.
And Marcel said you're good at a lot of things. So I would agree, not just social media.
Thank you.
Okay, and then I wanted to pick on Kelsey a little bit. She's in the room, not on Zoom, so she's gonna have to talk loud, but she does a lot. She gets a lot of engagement on LinkedIn, and we're gonna have her teach us a class on that too. But any secrets or pointers or how long you're spending on LinkedIn every day to pick up clients?
I've been consistent enough that I just message my new connections every day, so.
Can you guys hear
A
her?
couple minutes. But when I first started, I was obviously building up, so it was a while.
Can you guys hear her?
Yes.
Sorry.
I was gonna have you unmute,
Again.
if you don't mind.
So I send messages on LinkedIn for lead generation. And now that I've been doing it for so long, I just send the messages to my new connections every day. So when I first started, it took longer because I was going backwards, but now it's just a couple minutes. So I did it for like less than 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes before we had our meeting today.
Oh my gosh, so just 5 minutes a day and you're picking up
Yeah, and I have someone message.
like right now. She's like, I am busy.
Messaging me right now about.
That is awesome.
So, question for you, obviously, reaching out to people who think as well for like professional, right? Your conversations with them, and then your social media, like, how are you reaching them? And they have different professions.
So I just have a copy and paste message that I created that says I'm a real estate agent. I've been out my whole life. I also know like a ton of electricians, plumbers, so if you need anyone like that, let me know. But also if you can help my clients, I'd love to connect with you. And so I'm getting a lot of financial planners, which I've got referrals from. A lot of people are just like, I'm not in the market to buy, or I'm looking to buy within 2 years. And I'm getting a lot of contacts because if they say, you know, I'm not interested, then I just say, do you mind if we keep in touch? And I get their phone for them. So
That is
And
awesome.
that's kind of Liz will talk about it, it's one of business to business.
it is,
Right? And so that's huge. Good job.
Yes. So I'm not sure if you guys could hear her very well, but and Marcel was saying like turning that into business to business, but the question was in LinkedIn, it's very much a professional social media site. So he asked her how she's engaging with these people. And she has a copy and paste message that basically says, hey, I'm a realtor. I've lived in Utah my whole life. Maybe you can help my clients too. Like, are you in any of the trades or anywhere that they can, she says, I want to help you, you help me, that sort of thing. And she does it just was doing it for 5 minutes. And right now she's got leads coming in that she's responding to as we speak. So LinkedIn is a really good social media profile to pick up clients. Would you say you've picked up listing leads from that, or are they more so buyer leads?
buyers.
More buyers. Okay. More buyer leads, so maybe not so much on this topic of sellers, but again, a lot of buyers turn into sellers. So, yep. Is that what you're going to say? Yeah. So you just never know. And then she just basically follows up and says, can I keep in touch with you, and gets their phone number. So we are going to get her on a Monday mastery class so she can give us her exact system. Liz, anything you wanted to add to that with like business networking, or do you do any LinkedIn or anything else on social media?
I do a little bit on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn and B2B a lot in other businesses. And I am a huge, 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 huge fan of B2B. It's super awesome. It's really nice to be able to connect with other people's networks. I think door knocking is great, but in that door knock, I think that you're not getting as big of a net as far as their own network. But if you're going to a business owner, they probably have a bigger network and also are looking to provide value to their network, just like we are. And so I think it's super smart that you're on LinkedIn and networking that way. A lot of opportunities come up, especially working with like-minded people that are other business owners as well.
Yep. Love that. I've done a lot of business to business myself, picked up lots of listings doing that. Think of people who have the sellers. Property managers have sellers. A lot of those tradesmen, like, why are they painting a house? So just think about who would be really good in your network that you could add to. And you could find them on LinkedIn. You can find them in your SOI, also something you could put out on social media, but build that network. I love how she called it a big net. So
I want to add one more thing. Something that's helped some of my agents as well is they'll reach out to smaller companies or even big tech companies and offer a first-time homebuyer seminar for their company. And a lot of people will get excited. So if you can find people that are in HR on LinkedIn for companies that you feel like you align with, or the people that are there you would align with, that's always a really good opportunity to get a lot of leads quickly because they're always looking to offer their employees benefits.
yes, great idea. I think Brian jumped off, but that is something that a loan officer would be really good to help you do that as well. Somebody else this morning, I think it was Steve, that's not on here, but he's working on one with like some veterans or soldiers because he's passionate about that. So we're getting ready to do a seminar there. I know a couple people did a seminar last week that was kind of a first-time home buyer, but those other businesses, they love sharing their stuff and they would totally partner up with you. So such a good idea I didn't have on here. Thank you. Okay. Oh, look, and networking. I forgot that was my next one. So networking, we just talked about it, just covered it. It's pretty big, and business to business networking is awesome. So that really ties right into LinkedIn or, some of those trades. I always give people kind of an activity to go through the alphabet and come up with your network A to Z. So A would be like an accountant, B could be a banker, C could be a contractor, like kind of that's one way just to like that memory jogger to go through A to Z and come up with people with those professions that you can add into your network. And then go out there and talk to them. That's something you could do on LinkedIn. You could go A to Z and go find those people on LinkedIn that now can be part of your network. Anything else on networking? I feel like we've talked a lot about networking, but. Yep. Mute.
That's right now, you have that option.
Yeah, networking. I think a lot of times people try to join networking groups.
Mhm.
I mean, and that's a good idea if you have those options. But one thing we talk about is like, look where you're already spending your time and energy. So if you are in a bowling league or you play Bonko or you whatever thing that you do, just look at how you can take advantage of that. Where it's something you're already doing and something where you already have a passion for, that you just let those people know what you do, and then from there you can kind of grow that out. Maybe sponsor your next. Again, I'm just thinking bowling night or whatever, but just think of what you're already doing or whatever you have interest in. Like I like cars, and so that's kind of where I'd go because I don't want to take too much time away from my family and join some other item. But if I'm already doing cars, then I can go that route. But we all have interests. We all have things that we enjoy. Just use that as a networking.
Yep. Love it. Thank you. That just reminded me, I was just so curious, how many of you have your name badge on right now? In the room, we all went like this, but I'm just curious. Kelsey, do you have yours on?
No, I can't.
How many others on here? Does anybody have a name badge on? Extra points, free cup of coffee. Nobody? Cody, do you? I saw you jump off mute.
I was gonna make a joke, but no, I'm good.
Oh, he was like, I'm gonna put it on right now. Okay, so no excuses. I don't have mine on. If I were gonna give you excuse, it's because I literally sit in this office, most days, helping you guys that are out in the public. It's such a good way to network. So wear your name badge. Every single one of you should have received one when you joined us. So if you need a new one because it's lost or misplaced, but I can't tell you how many people I have that will just reach out and talk to me and say, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market? If I'm wearing that name badge out and around. So out to dinner, out to all those places. He was just saying you're going to the car show, you're going bowling, anything like that. I mean, you can just look like you accidentally forgot to take it off when you got home from work, right? So networking and name badge kind of go hand in hand. So get your name badges out and wear them out there. And my sticker, he's looking at a sticker. Yep. Here's a sticker on my phone. So I'm pretty conscientious everywhere I go. I was just out of town this weekend and I always set it down so that this sticker is face up. Because regardless of where we're at, people say, oh, you're in real estate and you can start up a conversation. So yes, I have a sticker on my computer, a sticker on my phone. But I think the name badge is awesome too. Wear all kinds of swag. Don't be a secret agent. Vicky does not have a name badge yet. Vicky, you will. Have you received your business cards yet? It comes with your business cards. So, okay, no. So you will be getting one of those. And yeah, just wear it everywhere. As soon as you get your first business card, that name badge is in the same box. Awesome. Golden letters. So this is something, and we do have a one sheet on this, basically just kind of a playbook on how to do the golden letters. But golden letters basically are sending out a letter to a specific neighborhood, trying to get them to call you, which is awesome. That way we don't necessarily have to call them, right? But we send out a letter that says, hey, we have, there's a specific letter you can use. But it really is something like, hey, our inventory is low. We have buyers looking in your area. We need your house. Have you thought of selling? And then you're putting a phone number on there, and they, the goal is that they call you and say, yes, I have an interest of selling my house. So golden letters are working really well. There's a lot of different ways that people do that, but you can do it through a postcard. You can do it through an actual letter. You can do it through a handwritten note. But it's just one other form of getting out there and talking to people. So that basically is in their mailbox. And that's a really good, if you Google that or you type in Keller Williams golden letters on YouTube, you will find agents who completely specialize and only get their listings that way. So it's a really good way to get listings. And then we've talked a little bit about farming. So farming basically is where you take a specific area. So say you take 500 homes. This can be an area that either you live in or you want to work in. A lot of people will start farming like when they want to break into like a luxury neighborhood or something. it's definitely more consistent. This really isn't a send out a postcard one and done. This is, you know, you farming, you planting a seed and you're watering it every single month. You're talking to them, you're doing all of these things in one specific area. That technically is farming. So Marcel and Liz, they talked a little bit about their software that will do this for you, but you can go in there and you can check out what's the turnover rate in a specific neighborhood. So I really like that piece of that because you do want to make sure if you're picking a neighborhood, it's an area that actually has movement. You're going to say something?
Yep. So we're going to get on the schedule for a Monday class where I'll actually go through the software.
Awesome.
So just let me know when is a good Monday and we'll get it
Yes.
on there so then we can show everyone and it'll be on the video.
Yes, we keep saying that. So let's do that before you leave. Let's get you on the calendar. You and Kelsey get on the calendar. But yeah, you can check the turnover rate. You can check different things. You can do the walking farm. So it's tracking where you've been. You can get the information on that specific house. So farming is really good. There is a gentleman who's extremely big within Keller Williams. His name is Kenny Kraus, and his entire business was built through farming. So definitely a good way to get listings. Here's just a couple scripts that we put in here. And then I have this video that I wanted to show you guys. But before we hit play on this, any questions on anything we've talked about so far? Questions, ahas, things you're going to do? Okay. I'm going to show you this video. This is also another rock star within Keller Williams. If you were to Google her, or go on her social media platform, she kind of ties all of this in, but built her business through door knocking and open houses. So I'm going to let you guys watch that.
Hello, my friends. Rachel Adams Lee here. Guess what we're talking about? We're talking open houses. How many of you are ready to rock your open houses to the next level? And you think, I want a ton of activity. I want a big open house. And I know that when I go knock on that door, I am terrified. I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't want to bother them. So you know what? I'm not gonna knock on the door. I'll just stick it on Facebook and we'll see how it goes. If that's you, then you better tune in because today we're talking the open house script that's going to rock your world. Okay, you guys, it is the day before open house. You are ready to do this. You're gonna door knock, you're gonna add value to these people, and guess what? You're nervous. I get it, right? Your hands are a little sweaty, you're not sure what to say. Here is the master script that's gonna make all your fear go away. All right, you knock on that door, they answer. Hey there, my name's Rachel Adams Lee with Keller Williams Realty, and I just wanted to let you know, stopping by to give you a little courtesy notice. There's actually going to be a little bit of extra traffic in your neighborhood from 12 to 4 tomorrow on Saturday because we're doing an open house. Yeah, your neighbor, they actually just listed their house with us, the Rachel Adams Group, and it's actually listed for $25,000 more than they thought it would go for, which is really exciting for them and actually good news for you. So just want to stop by, saw a little bike outside, want to make sure you have a courtesy notice, just a little bit of extra traffic in the neighborhood. Boom. Silence and you wait. So instead, because I will tell you guys, when I started door knocking, you guys know I started my whole business door knocking 200 doors a week, doing my 3 open houses a week. It was insane, it was crazy, and yet it works, right? When I did it though, I was so nervous because I thought if I knocked on their door, I'm bothering them and I was inconveniencing them. And in fact, I realized that's not the case at all. Because if their neighbor's house is going for $25,000 more than they thought it was, then that means good news for them. That means they potentially have more equity in their home than they thought. And yet I don't want to open the door and be like, hi, do you want to buy, sell? Right? Like that's too crazy. That doesn't work for me and that's also not my style. So instead I came up with the script that I'm just stopping by to give you a little courtesy notice. There's going to be a little extra traffic in your neighborhood from 12 to 4 on Saturday. And then they're grateful. I'm telling you, when you tell them there's a courtesy notice, it's just like, okay, you're not selling me anything. And then I do let them know their neighbor's house is selling for $25,000 more. And then I wait, I'm silent, and I let them take the conversation where they will. Sometimes they just say thank you. Sometimes they ask me more questions about the neighborhood or the neighbor's house, right? And then I ask if they've ever wondered how much their house is worth. And I'll say, you know, for totally free, I'm more than happy to just get you values of your home. I mean, obviously the market's changing and sellers are actually netting more money than they thought they were. So, you know, whether you're looking to upsize, downsize, whatever you're looking to do, you know, I'd be happy to help you. No pressure though, of course. Like, I'm really passive when I'm at that door. And I will tell you, it has changed the way we do business. Stop by and give them a courtesy notice about traffic, and then wait. Okay, just wait and see what they say. Now, the other piece to this is we always have a two-sided flyer, which I'm going to show you guys side one, which is always just sold, right? The houses that are being sold in their neighborhood, always with a call to action, right? And then side two is always something of value. So this one happens to be where to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July. We also let them know sometimes we're doing a school supply drive, right? We want them to know that we are local experts who know about the community, who give back to the community. Those of you who know me know that I'm all about the mimosas. So we have a Santa mimosa event, we have mommies and mimosas, we have Easter bunny and mimosas. We're the kind of realtors you want to hang out with. And guess what? You can be that kind of realtor too. All right, my open house fans, I hope you found value in this video and it brings wealth to you and your business and your life. I care about you. I'm here for you. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel, connect with me on social media. If there's a specific script that you are looking for, I would love to be able to get that for you. Have a wonderful day.
Awesome. 200 doors a week. Did you guys hear that? 200 doors, 3 open houses a week is what she's doing. So any questions, comments regarding that? Kind of that idea that she's doing a courtesy notice. Just wanted to get these back up here. Okay, so as we wrap up tonight, I would love to know a few of your action items. What are you going to take out of this call and put, or this class, and take action on within the next 24 hours? Anything we've talked about? Anything anybody's offered? What are you going to take action on? 3 action items, and I'll let you guys go.
Within the next 24 hours?
24 hours.
Oh, that's a little rough.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I'll send out the golden letter to my phone, but that's.
Okay, so Kelsey's saying golden letters is she's going to take action on. So what is one thing you could do in 24 hours? Like, do you even know what the letter looks like? Do you know who you're going to send it to? Okay.
I'm gonna go gold 100 this weekend, so I ordered today.
Okay.
And that's my 24 hours.
She's doing a bold 100 and sending out seeds.
I'm gonna pass out seeds for my gold.
Passing out seeds. Okay. So bold 100 and you're going to get your golden letter ready to go out. Love it. 2 more. What else are you guys doing on your action items?
I'm going to go door knocking tomorrow.
What was that? Johnette, you're going to do what tomorrow?
I'm going to go door knocking tomorrow.
Yay. Okay. How many doors are you intending to knock on?
Okay, so how many should I? I was thinking like 20, 30.
Yeah, so there really isn't any should. I would say, you know, set an intention of how many people you'd like to talk to. So say that you're going to go for those 10 conversations tomorrow. I mean, it really depends where you go, who answers the door, so that way you're not getting stopped at, because you could go to 10 doors and not talk to 10 people. So
Right.
I would set the intention of how many people you actually want to speak to tomorrow, and then
Gotcha.
go out and hit the doors until you hit that number.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So set the intention. So when you go out there, there will be doors, there will be people.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. One more. What else are you doing for your action item? Nobody's going to go home and put their name badge on? I felt like I made that so easy for you. One more action item from tonight. You're going to join LinkedIn. You're going to post something on social media. Jacob, what are you doing?
I'm going to send myself a monthly neighborhood snapshot because I don't have anybody on that. So I'm going to get all of my database on that. And then I'm also going to order myself some 36-inch red balloons. Thank you, Cody.
Yes. We need the link, Cody. Sounds like those
No
are
problem at all.
awesome balloons.
I'll send them over right after this is over.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, those are really, really good action items. So take action, try to do it in the next 24 hours, at least one step. So if maybe that's ordering a balloon, maybe it's joining LinkedIn, maybe it's setting an appointment with Real Advantage Title. I mean, there's definitely things you can do. So it doesn't have to be completed in 24 hours. Just take action on it so that you are remembering what you're learning and putting it into play in your business. Okay, if nobody has any other questions for this evening, there is an Ignite After Dark. It's not dark yet. At 7:30 tonight. So 7:30 to 9:30. And that's going to be talking about, it's not tonight. Just kidding. Just want to see if you guys were awake. I'm already on Tuesday. What the heck? Okay. Tomorrow is Ignite After Dark, and they are going to be talking about generating leads through open houses. So we're going to get Cody on there as an instructor. But for tomorrow, it's not him, but there will be a great class. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow morning unless you have any other questions.
Thank you, Terry. You are fabulous.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah,
Have a good
thank
night,
you. Have a good
everyone.
night.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You can reach out.
Yes.